All right, and joining us right now from Globe Life Field, it's new Texas Rangers pitcher Nathan Eovaldi is joining us. Nate, what's going on, buddy?
Hey, how y'all doing?
Doing well, doing well. We just saw you at the press conference. Saw you, saw the family. I made your son a paper airplane. I hope he's enjoying it. They were rustling those papers during it. It was pretty funny.
He still has it. He was throwing it around earlier, but he's still got it.
Okay, good. I hope he doesn't poke anybody's eye out, but we're good on that. But just kind of what you talked about here at the press conference. Why the Texas Rangers? Why the team that won 68 games last year? Why do you think they can win championships here in the near future?
I mean, I feel like it's the way that the ownership's going about winning, the way they're going about building the organization, the team. We have the young prospects that are in the minors that are ready to come up, adding to the rotation. For me personally, my biggest belief in winning a World Series championship is having a good starting rotation. And I feel like we have 7+ arms that are able to do that. I'm not familiar, 100% with all the minor league guys and stuff that we have, but that's what I'm looking forward to for spring training, to get to know everybody and help them guys out. But, we have 7 solid arms that are able to, make an impact right now in the starting rotation. And then that just helps the bullpen out that much more. And I think whenever you have a fresh bullpen, it saves the load of the starting rotation. The starting rotation, it works vice versa. They both work with each other and help each other out. And again, when you can go 7, 8 innings, 6, 7, 8 innings, the infield guys, all the offense, like they look forward to coming into the field knowing that we have a chance to win today. And I think that's where it all starts. And once you show the guys that we're here and we're ready to compete and win, I think it opens the doors to success.
Looking at the way you've pitched in the past and looking at your numbers, it seems like your favorite pitch is strike one. It just seems like you work in the zone, and sometimes that's good, sometimes that's bad. But just kind of talk about your pitching philosophy.
Yeah, absolutely. For me, it's strike one, and I've come to learn that teams are going to take them chances. You can usually tell from the first batter what their game plan is going to be, and if they come out swinging, that's where fortunately I got 5 pitches. I have 4 off-speed pitches that I can go to, and I essentially come into a game having 2 to 3 scouting reports on how we're going to attack the hitters, but then I also need to know how they're going to try to face me and react to me. And because I throw so many strikes, they come out swinging aggressively early, trying to get 1 or 2 runs across the board early. And I got to do what I can to prevent that. And again, to be able to go 7, 8 innings, you can't be losing pitches. So if you fall behind a guy 2-0, that's 2 pitches that are wasted. It's the same if you get a guy 0-2 and now it's a full count, you've wasted 3 other pitches. I'm a big fan of strikeouts, but at the same time, I'm more of a fan of a 1 pitch out. So whatever I have to do to go out there and get as many outs as possible, as quick as possible, that's what I'm trying to do.
Yeah, it seems like the Rangers have. I mean, every team wants their pitchers to not walk guys, but there's been a point of emphasis for the Rangers. It seems like Chris Young and I know from experience, and John knows, having worked with Mike Maddox, that Mike Maddox that's his thing too. What's your interaction been with those 2 guys?
Yeah, so I've been talking to CY quite a bit, obviously, with all the negotiations and things like that. And then ever since that I've signed the deal or we came to an agreement with it, we've been talking a lot. And that was one of the other things that intrigued me about coming over here is you have somebody with a pitching mind in the front office that has a finger and knows what we're going through and, what it takes to be successful. And he's working with ownership and to make that happen. And that was another reason to coming over here and working with Maddox. We've only had, 2 brief conversations, but I'm extremely excited about coming over here and working with him, the success that he's had and working with players and obviously as a pitcher himself, just to be able to be a part of that. And, I think it's going to be outstanding for us. And same with Bochy, having the success that he's had as a manager and just knowing what it takes to win a World Series championship. When I went through it in 18, we had that confidence coming in 19 that we were going to be able to do it. And I think we finished last place. There's just those expectations that you want, and it doesn't work that way. There are no expectations. You have to go out and put in the work, and it's the daily ins and out of everything and the grind and being a part of a team and having each other's back and just having that camaraderie in the clubhouse. And we know what it takes. Now we just have to piece it all together.
Yeah. Now this isn't the first time you've switched teams in your career, but you come here and I'm the way baseball is, you probably know somebody, but Martin Perez, and Martin's a friend of our show. I've known Martin since he was 17 years old. What's your relationship with him?
It's great. Ever since he was on my team for the first time over there with the Red Sox, he's been outstanding. He's one of the guys that relates obviously really well with the Latin guys, but also too with everybody else in the clubhouse. And you have to have that. You can't just have pitchers with pitchers, infielders, outfielders all together. Like, it needs to be a full team effort. And, he does a really good job of getting everybody involved. And, he messes around with everybody, and, he keeps everybody laughing, and you never really see him upset about anything. So it's always good to have that positivity in the clubhouse. And I feel I'm the same way of always being positive, and there's always a brighter outlook on everything, and even in the darker situations and things like that. But I've also played with Brad Miller, Jake Odorizzi.
Sure.
I don't know. I think that's it.
Okay, but
yeah, I play with a few guys, and obviously against a lot of the guys. But I'm excited to join the Rangers and to get everything going for sure.
Did you see Martin's suit that he wore to the All-Star game?
I did.
That's pretty sweet. Not everybody can pull that off.
Not everybody can pull it off, but he's one of them.
Hey, he's also. I think he's planning to play in the World Baseball Classic. I know you've committed to it. What led you to that, and how does that affect a spring training for you?
So obviously I've always wanted to. I've always dreamed of being able to put on the USA uniform and be able to represent for our country. And this was the first time that they had offered it, and I didn't hesitate to say yes to it. I'm willing to do whatever they need me to do, and obviously we have a loaded amount of talent that's going to be participating in it, and obviously the goal is to bring home the gold. From what I was told, there's really not going to be that much of a difference compared to spring training and where we normally are. We may be built up one inning extra, but there's going to be limitations. They're not going to be running us out there for 100 pitches through 4 or 5 innings, things like that. I think it'll be an inning limit and a pitch limit. But again, I'm going to be prepared and willing to do whatever they need me to do.
Now, you told us afterward that some of the writers that you've been off a mound. Was that in preparation for this, or is that just kind of you wanting to just keep your arm going?
No, yeah. For me, I enjoyed just getting it going a little early. I'd rather prepare a little early and kind of taper off there towards the end or as needed. Kind of prepare for any hiccups that may occur, and don't feel like in the off season I have to do everything on a 5-day basis. I know I'm a little early of where I am right now, pitch wise. I'm 30, 35 pitches. I'm throwing out a stretch and wind up. I feel like I'm a little bit ahead of where I need to be right now. So again, it gives me a little bit more wiggle room. I've been throwing basically one bullpen a week, and we'll start building up a little bit more, prepared for spring training and then the Classic.
All right. Well, before I hand you over to John, he's going to touch on this, but how's it feel to be the second best pitcher ever from Alvin High School?
Yeah, I'm just glad to be able to put on a uniform, have my name associated with his. It's incredible.
I mean, is it hard? I mean, obviously, everybody says, "Oh, Alvin, Nolan Ryan." I mean, do you have any relationship with them, or what is it like in Alvin to be a high school pitcher?
I mean, for me, it was an honor. You walk into the field and it's Nolan Ryan Field, and they named it after him. I know he donated a lot of money to it. You have all of his accolades and everything like that on a giant poster board. Right there when you walk into the school. So you see the no-hitters and it's all the records. I mean, I'm sure y'all have seen the Netflix documentary. I thought it was incredible. And I just, I feel like I learned something new all the time about him that I've never known. I was only able to meet him one time. I think he had already moved out of Alvin when I was in high school. I wasn't that big of a name in high school either. I had my first Tommy John when I was a junior. I was able to make it back my senior year, and that's kind of when I got on the board and I was able to get drafted by the Dodgers. But I think he had already moved out to the Texas area or the Arlington area because he was working with the Rangers.
Yeah.
So I met him for the first time. It was in 2015 when I was with the Yankees against when we were playing the Astros, and he had actually came to one of the games. And I mean, I felt like that was more nerve-wracking than anything. Whole play. I got Nolan sitting there with his wife, and just an incredible honor to be able to meet him, and everything that he's been able to do for me. A huge thanks, and just not only Nolan, but also to his family, Reed, and everyone. They've been out for me.
All right, awesome. All right, I hand you over to John real quick. He asked a little fun stuff.
Yeah, I get more fun. We get to learn a little bit more about Nathan. So you graduated from Alvin in 2008, Alvin High School. We know where that's Nolan Ryan. Did you play any other sports when you were growing up?
I mean, growing up, I mean, I was always into golf, baseball, basketball. That was really it. Yeah, I mean, mainly basketball, track, things like that. But and being in Texas, you play baseball year round. And our high school coach was, "Hey, if you're going to be a part of the team, you're a part of the team. You got to be committed to it." So I only ever played baseball in high school. I'd fallen off a horse when I was younger, and I got a real bad concussion. My dad's like, "You're not playing football," and I never put on the pads or anything or suited up, so I never knew what I was missing. So I never really had that, that desire to play.
Hey, how's your golf game?
In the backyard, things like that. So,
are you scratch? Yeah.
How's your golf game?
My golf game is terrible.
Oh, okay.
I shoot under 100. It is like I was shot. If I shot scratch, so I'm terrible at golf.
Okay, so
I enjoy it though.
Just to let you know, you said you don't know a lot about the minor league guys. Cole Wynn, who's in the minors and he's on the 40-man roster, is a great golfer.
Yeah, hook up with him.
And Mike Maddox is terrific.
Yeah. Yeah, Maddox is really good too.
So just watch your wallet when you're around those two.
You won't find me out there. No, I'm more into fishing and stuff. I'll be looking in the back ponds for some big bass.
All right, there you go.
All right, now, so coming out of high school, now, in my understanding, you committed to A&M, right?
Yes, sir.
Okay, so, sir, see, he knows how old I am. Committed to A&M. Were there any other schools in play? Did you have anybody else you thought you might go to?
So the way A&M worked out was they reached out to me when I was a junior and I had my first Tommy John, and, they gave me the minimum scholarship. And for me, if I didn't recover from my Tommy John and I couldn't get a scholarship for baseball, then I would have that to go to. And I know that they're a great academical school, and that's what that was the plan.
Okay. So, all right, that's fair. And now, okay, so you're drafted out of high school. I love this question. You were drafted in the 11th round by the Dodgers in 2008. Where, you weren't in New York. You were an 11th rounder. Where were you when you got drafted? How did you find out you'd been drafted?
So I was at home with my dad, and, a lot of the agents were saying that I was going to be a one of the first round, second round draft. And, we watched, and my name didn't pop up, and the next day it continues and we're watching, and yeah, I kind of got bored of it. So I think I was in my room playing video games or something like that. And I hear my dad celebrating. He's like, "Hey," screaming. And I come in there and he's like, "You were drafted by the Dodgers, 11th round." I'm like, "Let's go." So we had that special, father-son moment at the house together, and it was cool.
All right. Last one. This one, we're going to get you out of here, and then we'll get you on another time this year. We'll have some more fun stuff. So you made your major league debut on August 6th, 2011. That means you got the call up. So that's the way that happened. This is always a fun one for anybody that's been in the big leagues. How'd you find out you were going to the big leagues? Did they mess with you a little bit? What happened?
Yeah, so I was with the Dodgers at the time, and they had a string of injuries happening, and I wasn't on the 40-man, so they had to make moves for me, roster moves, and I forget which organization it is. We were playing the Diamondbacks in Double-A. I forget where they were at the time, but, they called me in the office and were like, "Hey, you're not making your next start. You're going to Arizona. You're not playing. You're not facing the minor league Diamondbacks, but the big league guys." So, I flew out, and it was awesome. I mean, that whole debut, I remember one of the biggest moments was I was nervous warming up in the bullpen and, taking it all in with the crowd. And this little girl was singing the national anthem. She had to be 3 or 4 years old, and she just absolutely killed it. And I was like, wow. If she go out there and sing in front of, I don't like interviews. I don't like singing, you know what I mean, in front of people, or you won't see me doing any karaoke's or anything like that. And she went out there and killed it. I was like, if she can do it, I can go out here and pitch. And, I've been doing this for years. So I had a pretty good, debut, and that's where it all started.
Absolutely.
Awesome.
Anything else?
No, hopefully you can continue with the Rangers here for the next 3 years. That'd be,
yes, sir.
If so, that means good things for the franchise.
Absolutely.
Absolutely.
Hey, Nathan, thank you so much. I know it's a busy day. You just signed and had the press conference. Taking time to come on, it's really special. Thanks to the Rangers for getting you on here with us. Hey, we'll see you out at the ball field. Obviously, we'll see you spring training. We'll see you out there. And get you on here again. I got some more fun stuff to ask you.
Awesome. I'm looking forward to it, fellas.
All right, man.
All right,
Appreciate
that's
you.
Nathan Eovaldi.